All right, so we are going to be looking at different types of energy. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, but feel free to pause as you write down things in your notes. So these are the major types of energy. If you look at your note sheet and flip it over, you'll see that there's even more types of energy, right? But we're only going to be looking and describing these major types. So let's start with chemical energy. Chemical energy is energy stored in the bonds between atoms. If you need a refresher, remember a bond is a force that keeps atoms together in a molecule. So this is one water molecule, H2O. In between here, this is a bond. So these are three atoms that are not connected by a bond, and all of a sudden a force brings them together. They're now bonded. So that's what a bond is. Examples of chemical energy would be fuel, food, those are easy ones that come to mind. But things like batteries and explosives also have chemical energy. What is electrical energy? Well, it's just energy from the flow of electrons. So if you remember what an atom looks like, the electrons are going to be hovering on the outside, on the outer rings. An electron is just one of the parts that makes up an atom. It has a negative charge. So what are some examples of electrical energy? Well, power lines are everywhere, outlets around your house or apartment, and of course static electricity. This should be one bullet point. As the winter goes on and it gets drier, we're going to be experiencing more static electricity. This morning I actually shocked my cat when I was trying to pet him. Felt kind of bad. What is electromagnetic energy? It's energy from objects in the form of electrical and magnetic waves. Well, what the heck does that mean? Well, let's first look at some examples. We have light bulbs, microwaves, and X-rays. Let's look at microwaves because it's right in the name. So right here, we're not going to look that deeply into how microwaves work, but if you look at the labels of what's inside your microwave, you're going to see something called a magnetron, which sounds like either a transformer or an Avenger. But that is something that actually converts the electricity into electromagnetic energy, and that's going to be helping radiate these small microwaves, the purple lines, to make your pizza warm. What about mechanical energy? This should be familiar, right? We ended try one with mechanical energy. This is just energy from movement. We learned that there's two different types, kinetic and potential, and if you add those up, you get mechanical energy. So the energy is never going to be zero. It's either going to be an equal part kinetic and equal part potential, or maybe no kinetic energy and all of it be potential, or all of it's kinetic and none of it's potential. It'll have to balance out. If you need a reminder of how to tell the difference, potential energy is going to be anything that's furthest away from the ground. It has the potential to fall. Kinetic energy is when it's moving up or moving down. Examples of mechanical energy, other than the one I just talked about, would be things like working out, using a tool, wind turbines. Again, it's energy from movement. What about nuclear energy? Nuclear energy is energy stored in the nucleus of the atom. So again, this is our handy dandy atom, and inside the center, we call it the nucleus. The nucleus holds protons and neutrons. So what are some examples? Well, the atom bomb, which caused just mass destruction at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So I know this bomb, relative to this person here, looks big, but when you look at the destruction that it caused, it's really not a lot of product there that caused that much energy to destroy that much, right? Pretty hard to believe. Nuclear energy can also be found in nuclear plants. So one that's not too far away from you, about 25 miles from St. Cloud in Monticello, is a nuclear plant. And when you're driving maybe towards the cities, you'll see these big smokestacks, and that's where that's from, the nuclear plant. What is radiant energy? The easiest picture to think of in your head when you read radiant energy is the sun. Radiant energy is just energy from the sun. So some examples would be solar panels, anything that's warmed by the sun, like hot pavement, or even like hot sand if you go to the beach and forget your shoes and you'd be in pain. That's radiant energy from the sun that's heating those things up. So luckily we have, not too far away from us again, an example, this solar panel farm that's 60 acres in Camp Ripley, which gives them basically all the energy they need to be self-sufficient. Thermal energy. Thermal energy is energy from molecules moving, aka heat. So the faster the molecules move, the more heat is produced. Some easy examples could be fire, lava, even your heater and your house. Those are all examples of thermal energy. What about sound energy? Something you might not think about. Sound energy is energy from a wave caused by an object's vibrations. Anything like my voice right now, maybe an instrument that you play, or even loud music, whether it's in a stereo in your car or in your earbuds. Sound travels through the air much like waves in water, except it's much faster. If you ever heard the term faster than the speed of sound, when they talk about certain jets, you can always YouTube that, it's really cool. But getting sidetracked, sound waves are in the air, we just can't see them. Now we can measure them, and we do so with these lines here that give us kind of a indicator as to, okay, is it high pitch? Is it really close together? Or is it low pitch? Is it quieter? Or is it louder? So we can look at the waves to tell us these different descriptors. So even though you can't see sound waves travel through the air, think about if it's, really loud, high frequency, even low frequency, what is that doing to your body? So anyone that says like loud music can't hurt your ears, they're definitely wrong. So we're going to be looking at energy conversions. So we know energy is constantly changing from one form to another all around us every day. But why? How? So we have something called the law of conservation of energy. So it says that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred between objects or changed into another form. So this means that all energy comes from somewhere. You didn't just create energy when you picked something up with your muscles. Where did that energy first come from, and where did that energy come from? So we know that energy is constantly changing from one form to another all around us. On the next slide, what I'd like you to do is read through the examples. Think about how energy changes. You can go back and review the types of energy to help you think about that. For example, let's say you plug a fan into the wall and you turn it on. What kind of energy did it have at the start? What new form of energy did it change into once you turned it on? Think about those for a second, pause the video, and we'll talk about those tomorrow.